Hi, my name is Charlize Monim, and I'm wanting to teach your child speech and debate. So, why debate? Why are we doing this workshop? I aspire to help students find their voice one argument at a time. I want to build confidence, sharpen communication, and inspire future speakers. You never know, but your child can truly fall in love with this talent and learn how to express themselves in a new way. So, where this workshop really isn't about just public speaking or winning arguments, but it's about helping students learn how to build their confidence and thinking critically and expressing themselves in any situation, whether your child is shy or already very outspoken. Debate teaches skills that last a lifetime, from writing and researching to leadership and teamwork. So, let's go over the curriculum. First, Day 1, I want to go through speech. In the National Speech and Debate, there's many different speech events. Humorous interp, dramatic interp, POI, original oratory, informative speaking, and duo. Each of these events have one special thing that your child could truly fall in love with, especially for middle schoolers, something that early on that can prepare you for these events is UIL, University International Scholastic League, and we can find out whether your child is offered this at school. By the benefit of this, you can learn how to format techniques and skills to improve your overall public speaking abilities. There's so many different ways to speak, and we can teach your child a bunch of them so then they can learn how to express themselves. And one thing I definitely want to introduce is extemp speaking. Extemp speaking is just speaking without anything and without any structure or without just speaking from your memory, which obviously I'm doing right now, but it's a skill that takes practice, and I definitely want to introduce your child this skill. For Day 2, I want to go over a debate intro. There's, again, like speech, there's many different events for debate. Let's say public forum, Lincoln Douglas, cross-examination or policy, and congressional debate. And debate takes many different skills to actually accomplish this, even before debating. Even before debating, you need a case which is prepared by research, and it takes interesting arguments. And to take this for this class, we can work on learning how to develop these ideas and learning how to research proper sources. In this class, we introduce drills and exercises to improve overall debating and speaking abilities. One benefit is this improves critical thinking abilities, argumentation, and delivery. Debate combines both speech and argumentation, and for the outcome, you need practice, and this introduction allows us to introduce this to your child. For Day 3, I hope to introduce extemp speaking again. Extemp speaking is a speech that's created in 30 minutes from memory without any piece of paper, but it needs sources and it takes a lot of information and practice to do this. So in this class, I hope that your child can give at least one of those speeches in just 30 minutes. Out of this, you understand how to read your sources and you understand politics in a very short amount of time. And one specific skill that comes from this is you have to connect to your judge in a certain amount of time. Less than 7 minutes, you have to win over your judge. Just like that, not in life, you have not judges, but rather, let's say, interviewers, professors that you have to impress in a short amount of time. Extemp speaking allows us to understand and introduce all of this and learns how you can impress anyone in a really short amount of time. So I hope that your child can give a 7-minute speech in just 30 minutes of this class. And it takes a lot of practice, but I am sure that I can teach your child this skill. For Day 4, we're going over debate. Debate takes a long time to understand. It took me about a couple months to even come up with a case alone, but I'm sure that I can get your child to understand this in a mere 1 to 2 hours. So first, we're going to go over how to cut cards. Cutting cards is not easy, but I can attach some cards to show you how this is not too easy. It's actually quite difficult, and it takes a lot of abilities to create complex arguments from topics that sometimes you have no idea. Just last year, I had to prepare a topic on Somaliland, an area in Somalia. I had no idea what that was, but with a bunch of time and with learning how to actually research, I was able to come up with a case in just a couple hours. I'm sure I can break this concept down to middle schoolers and actually learn how to come up with complex ideas and arguments so that we can set your child up for high school and lifelong arguments. And this class will allow advanced rebuttals and refutation, and it will, again, further public speaking abilities. So finally, in day 5, we're going to have a PF or LD run depending on the amount of students, and we're going to learn how to give long speeches. Again, this takes so much time if you don't have anything around memory. So obviously with practice, we can get your child to come up with an 8-minute speech in just less than 2 minutes. And for debate, you have to prepare both an affirmative and a negative speech. So we can go over how to prepare both an AF and neg case, which is very important. So going over this will allow your child to understand different perspectives of an argument or topic. So day 6 is our final day. This is when your child can show you the abilities that they've learned from this workshop. We're going to have a round presented to you, and you can see your child's progress in public speaking. Public speaking is such an important skill to everyone, and it can show people how you are. And if you don't have the skill, you can't present what you are to people who don't know you. So having a round can show how complex they understand complex ideas about the world, and you can immerse yourself in your child's lifelong change. I mean, just a couple of sessions will allow your child to understand complex politics and understand complex topics about people that they may or may not have ever learned over the summer. Because who wants to look at CNN News? Let's just say, how many times do you pull up CNN News? But this workshop allows your child to have that habit and keep public speaking, and it keeps people immersed in news and things that are happening right now in our daily lives, like politics, whether it's domestic or international. So that's what's going to happen on day 6. You're going to see your child's change and their progress and have an actual Lincoln Douglas round. So the outcomes, you obviously, for debate, you have to listen to your opponent, so it allows incredible listening skills and rebuttal skills. And sometimes your opponents are extremely unpredictable, so it allows quick thinking under pressure, and it improves problem-solving skills. And finally, this allows confidence, empathy, and a different perspective taking. I mean, I would have never took a side on what's happening in the middle of nowhere, like Somalia and Somaliland and Venezuela. But public speaking and speech and debate allowed me to understand what's happening in countries that I may or may not have ever known. So this allows a different perspective in life, and it allows confidence in every speech word or phrase you say. So I hope I've sold you for this workshop, but if you have any questions, just let me know. My email is charlize.moneem@gmail.com, and I will be putting my resume with this video. But thank you so much for listening. I hope I've sold you, but thank you.